Hey there, everybody. Bedrock Builder here again. Wanted to show you the modified version of I guess, cow beef leather farm that I came up with. Because one of the problems I found with the common design of having a bunch of cows and a water source and having the babies shoot off the side was that a lot of the baby cows actually got stuck in the breeding chamber and grew up to be adults. And I wound up having quite a surplus of adult cows and having to, you know, deal with them to prevent any kind of lag because they get pretty laggy the more they built up. So I found a way to make sure that you get all of the cows that you breed into the killing chamber so you don't have any extras building up inside. Go ahead and show you how this one works. Sure, you're pretty familiar with these type of beef and leather farms, but just in case, I'll show you how it works. You have your adult cows trapped up here in a 1x1 chamber. You usually have a water source that makes them bounce up and down, so it makes it easier to feed them. I have a single piece of get out of here, buddy. Uh, Single piece of glass pane over it so you can't fall in because that can be a mess. Trust me, I've done it in survival. It's not fun. But as you can see, the baby cows shoot off in two general directions, straight forward off this side here, and then actually diagonally through any solid blocks in their way. They just need to shoot out, I guess, which I think is odd because, we've had the problem of them getting trapped, so them just shooting through blocks looks weird, but I guess that's how it works. This is what's working for me. Then once you get your cows all, bred up, they get stuck in this chamber down here. When they grow up to be adults, their heads will be high enough for you to hit, and you just whack away. You'll be able to collect the experience, and then the loot goes down below here into the chest. I think I actually had a little test run earlier. It's nice to have a sword with looting 3 and fire aspect. The looting, so you get a lot more, a lot more stuff. Fire aspect, so you actually get pre-cooked meat. You don't have to worry about putting it in a smoker or anything like that. So, one thing with this build, I found it works if it's facing west. Otherwise, you kind of have to change the location of the chambers. And this is how I have it set up, so I'll just show you how to build it for you. So here is a 5x6 area I've kind of worked out. This arrow is pointing north. That is west. So this is going to be the front of our farm here. So we're going to go ahead and put in a double chest down here in the ground. Then we're going to have one hopper coming off the back. I'll go ahead and throw a piece of carpet on top of that. And then make sure that the experience doesn't get caught in the hopper like it likes to do sometimes. Let's go ahead and put down a couple of slabs here. Then we're going to put I'm using glass just because I like the way it looks. But you can use any block that you want. Actually, let's start with the float chamber. And again, I'm using ice, but you don't have to use ice. You can use any block that you want. I guess except magma or something like that. Okay, so that'll be our little flow chamber that traps our baby cows or calves down here. We're going to go ahead and throw a button on this block. That'll make sure that the water doesn't flow into our little chamber, and it actually traps the calves. They can't jump past the button for some reason, so that makes sure that they get stuck down there, so that's nice. So we'll go ahead and wrap this around, close it all in. This needs to be, one wide, one high, just enough for the calves to get through. We'll go ahead and leave that blank because that's where we're going to put our slab. And we can go ahead and put some more blocks down here. Now you want to make sure that the blocks you put over the chest are transparent or slabs or stairs, any block that will allow the chest to stay open. So now when we stand here, we'll be at the perfect height for killing our adult cows. Whoops. Or breaking the glass. All right, so now we want to have some blocks here in the center. We can go ahead and close this all off. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, let's put in our dispenser before we forget. Before I forget. I'm sure you didn't forget. You're probably like, what the hell happened with the dispenser? All right, put it in dispenser there. Finish closing this off. Oh, and I'll leave that one open because that's where our cows are actually going to be. So let's go ahead and build that up. This high. And now we want a piece of redstone dust on top of that dispenser. I'm going to put a solid block on top of that with a button. And that should activate the water source once we get our bucket inside there. Let's see. All right, put a water bucket in. And that should be our water flowing. Okay. So now we just want to have a little platform up top to make it, a little bit safer to work on. Then we'll go ahead and, let's throw in that glass pane while we're up here. Well, no, we'll do that. We'll get our cows in first. Get our cows in. All right. Do you want to see some cows in a cow farm? Now, in my survival world, what I did was I actually built a water channel off the side here for making sure that the cows that I had got trapped in this chamber. It can be really hard to get an adult cow to fall into a one-by-one hole. That's the method I found to be the easiest. Maybe you have a better method. I don't know. Maybe tell me down in the comments how you like to get mobs stuck into traps like this. I guess you could use mine carts, but I think that would take a long time. All right, so we put a single piece of glass pane over the top. That'll prevent us from falling in once the cows are inside. Then we can go ahead and start the water stream. That'll get the cows bobbing, and that'll make it easier to feed them. Oh, that's not what we need. There we go. And you can feed away, feed away, feed away. And now they're going to start shooting out in the two directions. West. Oh, well, no. They were actually shooting off to the side there. Well, there you go. These ones don't teleport through walls, apparently. So, yeah, that's great how that works out. It's nice getting all of the baby cows, the calves that we want out of the farm. To finish it off, I threw in some stairs on the side, on either side, just to make for easier access. So you can go ahead and throw a stair there, stair there. Stair there, and stair there. And you can do the same thing off the other side here. Take these out. Stairs all the way up. And that's not the right way. We got this. There we go. Done. I like to throw a little thing here with the sword on it, make it easy so I don't forget my my sword for killing cows. I gotta have a sword specifically for doing that, right? What world is complete without your cow slaying sword? Anyway, I hope this works out for you guys as always. If you have any questions about this farm or any concerns or things you'd like to see in the future, just let me know in the comments. I'll always get back to you if I can. As always. As always.